Hi, welcome to this Zoom yoga class. I teach a live Zoom class every week, and then I put it up on YouTube to share it with all of you. So I hope you enjoy it. If you do, I hope you'll hit like and maybe subscribe so that you can be notified when I put up new programs. And explore my other playlists that might be helpful to you. This program is designed for people who might have some limitations. We bring our vinyasa up onto a chair so that you don't have to get all the way down to the ground. We start out in a chair, move to standing postures, vinyasa, and then we move down to the floor. So let's get started. So let's start with breathing. We're going to think about perhaps today as we practice. I just finished a short little course that I took online, a bunch of sessions about lymph and its importance in our bodies in flushing toxins out, and really is the foundation of our immune system. Our lymph nodes help to filter out those toxins and those things that make us sick. And in studying it or in learning about it, I learned what I didn't know was that fascia is the home of the conduits for lymph. And fascia is a filmy kind of, almost like a mesh that covers, it holds us together. It's like the stuff that holds us together. It wraps it's underneath our skin, just like the stuff you see underneath chicken skin, that thin little film. And it covers our bones, it covers our muscle fibers, it covers our organs. And it just is all over us. And it kind of is as I say, the glue that keeps us the shape that we're in. And so when fascia gets stiff or tight or clogged, it impedes the flow of lymph. It also can create pain or stiffness or tightness in the body. So just like any yoga movement that helps our muscles stretch, the movements that we do in yoga also help to relieve the restrictions in our fascia. So just keep that in mind as we move, as we move and twist and flow. We're really helping to open up the channels through which lymph can travel in our bodies, and in doing so, we're helping to build our immune system. So a nice little fun makes yoga even more worth doing. So sit nice and tall. Roll your shoulders up and back, relax them down away from your ears, draw your navel gently in towards your spine. And take a big sigh, breathe in through your nose, sigh out through your mouth, and do it again. And then settle in to the observation of your breath. So just follow your breath as it moves in through your nose, down your throat, into your body. And without changing it at all, just observe how it feels, how the body responds. You might notice a gentle expansion and contraction of the abdomen or of the ribs. Perhaps the lifting of the sternum. And as we observe the breath, notice if it's shallow or deep, quick or slow. And over the course of a few breaths, see if you can slow it down, maybe layer a count on the breath, on the inhale and the exhale. And as you lay that count over the breath, breath. You might find that the breath lengthens and slows, deepens. And the number can be 4 or 5, 6 if you're comfortable. Once you layer that number on the inhale and the exhale, you might layer a number on a pause between each piece. So maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 at the top of the inhale. Before you let the breath go. And the same count as you're empty before you bring the breath back in. Just taking that brief little break to notice how you feel when the body's full of breath and how it feels when it's empty. And after your next breath out, open your eyes, roll your shoulders, bring your arms down by your sides, and we'll take 4 big sun breaths. So inhale the arms up overhead, press the palms together, and as you exhale, let the breath go, turn the palms out and float those fingertips back down by your side. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, release. Let go. 2 more. Inhale. Let it out. Last one, inhale. Let it go. Keep your right arm down, float your left arm out to the side, up and over. Take a few bobbles here until you find a nice, comfortable place to pause. So you might imagine this fabric, this fascia, wrapping all of the inside of your body, each little piece of it, bones and organs and muscles and tendons and ligaments. And as we take these stretches, we're opening that fascia up, we're releasing tightness in that space, opening up the ability of lymph to flow. And then bring it back up and over to the other side, same thing. We're opening up to the right side, reach that right hand towards the left side of the room, find a comfortable place to pause, and then breathe. And just feel that stretch, feel that opening happening. Breathing in and letting it go. Inhale, both arms up overhead, come into a twist to the right. So let's bring our left hand to our right thigh on the outside, right hand behind us, sit nice and tall. So relax the shoulders, but lift the crown of the head as if there's a little marionette string on top of it and someone's helping lift it up. And begin to turn the head gently forward and back. We're just noticing tightness, noticing restriction. We're not trying to force our way past it, just observing. And with each motion that we do, maybe relaxing or loosening it up a bit. As you look towards the back shoulder, pause. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, nod your chin and relax your shoulders. Feel that nice stretch across the upper shoulders, back of the neck. Take a couple of breaths. Make them big and full. You can even sigh them out if you like. And then the chin comes to neutral, turns towards the front shoulder. Same thing here, take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, nod the chin, relax the shoulders, and take 2 big breaths. Just feel everything expanding and contracting. Next breath in, arms reach overhead, and then we will take that twist to the other side, so take the twist to the left. Right hand on left thigh now. Sternum lifted, shoulders parallel to the floor. Let the head begin to turn. I don't know about you, but there's some crunchiness in my neck at the moment. I can feel it and hear it like a Rice Krispies. So the more I move, though, the Softer the sound gets, the more the crunches dissipate. Looking towards the back shoulder, take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, nod and relax. And take 2 big breaths. And bring the chin to neutral, turn it towards the front. Another breath in and an exhale as you nod and relax. And 2 final breaths here, big breaths. Next inhale brings you back to center, arms reach overhead, feet are rooted into the ground, legs are strong. Reach your hands forward and lay your torso over your thighs. Find the seated ragdoll. So your arms can dangle if you prefer, or you can hold opposite elbow as the head turns down. Just give it a little nod or shake. Maybe sway the torso or roll the shoulders or move it all that. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let it out, sigh it out. Let the body kind of be traction. The spine is tractioned by the weight of the head as you fold forward here. Feel this nice stretch through the back, right up the spine. So here again, that fascia is getting a nice stretch, nice release perhaps. Big breath into the nose. And a big sigh out. Release your bind if you're holding your elbows. Sweep your arms wide. Bring yourself all the way up. Press your palms together overhead and bring your thumbs to your sternum. I can feel the energy moving already. Open up your arms with your palms up, and we will tap our shoulders 10 times. So here is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Keep your hands on your shoulders and start drawing circles. You can start small and get big, or you can start big and reduce the size, or just keep it all in one size, whatever. Just really warm up those shoulders and the back. Find a place to reverse direction. Keep the neck relaxed. And then pause when the elbows are out to the side. Keep your hands on your shoulders, and we will flap our little bird wings. So inhale up and exhale down. Here's 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9. Last one, 10. Elbows are out to the sides. So this time we're going to press the elbows back on the inhale and open the heart. Maybe a little rock of the pelvis, kind of like a little cow pose here. And as we exhale, come into cat, if you will. Elbows together, back arches, chin tucks. So that's 1. Here's 2. Don't have to be big. Here's 4 and 5. 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 10. Elbows are forward and the arms reach forward. We're going to tap our shoulders 10 times. Here's a 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Keep your arms reaching forward and take your left arm over your right and find your eagle arms. Take your right leg up, cross it over your left, and if knees are too high to cross at the ankles or cross the shins. Pull your arms apart. Really feel that stretch in the upper back. Take a nice breath in. Nod the chin on your exhale and either stay upright or fold. Another beautiful stretch here through the back. Take 2 big bellow breaths into the lungs. So you're going to feel the whole rib cage expand, especially the back ribs. Inhale. And let it go. And 1 more. And let it go. Bring yourself up. and unwrap. Just enough time to regroup. So other arm on top, right arm on top, eagle arms on this side, left leg this time up and over across some part of your right leg. Sit nice and tall, take a nice breath in. As you exhale, nod your chin. Feel that stretch. Decide whether or not you stay up or fold. You can do whichever feels better in your body. Remember, it's your body. Big breaths, bellow breaths into the back of the lungs. 2 of them. Inhale. And let it out. And inhale. And release it. Bring yourself all the way back up and unwrap yourself. Right. Working down into the core. So we're going to engage the core and lift the low ribs in and up, draw the navel in, engage the pelvic floor. You might even think about turning your pubic bone slightly up towards your navel. And here we go. We're going to stay nice and engaged here. Opposite knee, opposite elbow. I'll count. Here we go. 1, we're going to 10, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, and 9. Last one. Okay, now we're going to externally rotate and lift the legs. We're getting into a different group of muscles. So here we go. We're going to just reach with our hands towards our feet. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, 7, and 8, and 9. Last one, 10. Right. Opposite arm, opposite leg extension. So when we extend the leg, keep the leg as straight as you can and flex the foot, and the arm stays straight, goes straight out, not above your shoulder. So here we go. Here's 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, and 9, 10. Bring your feet as wide as the legs of your chair with your hands resting on your thighs and begin to circle the upper body. So the lower body is stable and the upper body is rotating. Again, think about keeping those core muscles engaged. Think of the core as like a corset that kind of wraps around your ribs and your low back and keeps your back protected and safe. Reverse direction. And then bring everything back up. Bring your feet about hip width distance apart and take your right leg up off the ground and draw circles with your knee. Making a few in one direction and then the other. And then hug that leg in, wrap that shin, hug that leg close to your body and circle your ankle. Point and flex your toes. And then keep the foot flexed and bring the ankle to your thigh or somewhere along an extended shin if that's a better option for you today. So always doing what's best for you in the moment. We're people who just feel different on different days. So do what feels good for your body. Decide whether or not you'd like to take a little fold and pay attention to that right hip. Excuse me. You might encounter some tenderness or tightness, some restriction. So just breathe into sensation. Nice big exhales sent right to the space that feels tight. And bring yourself back up. Extend that leg, flex the foot, and bring the heel to the ground. Glide your hand toward your toes, keeping the foot flexed. So support yourself with your left hand on your left thigh. As you reach your heart forward, try not to round here. And just breathe into the sensation in the back of your leg. And then come back to vertical. Draw that foot back in line with the left foot and lift that left foot up. Draw circles. And then reverse. And then hug it in. Really give it a squeeze and circle your ankle, point flex your toes. And then keeping that ankle flexed, find your seated pigeon or figure four, if you'd like to call it that. So notice what's happening in this side and decide whether or not a little lean would be good for you. And then again, use that breath. Yoga is so much about the breath and how it can be used as a tool for not only our physical well-being, but our emotional and mental well-being as well. Bring yourself all the way back up and extend that leg. Flex the foot and bring the heel to the ground. Keep the foot flexed as you glide towards your toes. And breathe into the back of this leg. And come back up to vertical. And we will do our sun salutation. So feet are parallel, knees are over the ankles, toes are facing forward. Sternum and the crown of the head are lifted. Roll your shoulders up and back and relax your arms down. Keep that navel drawn in. And we will begin. 3 plain ones. Inhale. And exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, find length, arms straight, and heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse, energize the legs, sweep your arms wide, press your palms together, come back to mountain. Inhale overhead for the second one, exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, glide all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, arms straighten, shoulders draw back, exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, sweep wide, come all the way up and back to mountain. Last plain one, inhale and exhale. Inhale, lean, and exhale, fold. Inhale, find length, and exhale, fold. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. And back to mountain. So we'll add the twists if the twists are right for you today. Leave them out if they're not. Or keep them very shallow if that's better for you. Exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, left hand down to the floor or somewhere along the right shin. Take that right arm out to the side, rotate to the right. Bring it back down and rotate to the left. And then bring it back down and fold. On an inhale, rise up. And come back to mountain. Last one. Inhale, overhead. Exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean. And exhale, fold. Inhale, find length. Exhale, left hand down. Right arm out to the side. Take the rotation to the right. And bring it down. Switch sides and take that rotation to the left. Bring it back down and fold. Inhale. Sweep your arms wide. Bring your arms overhead. Press your palms together. Bring your hands to your heart. Thumb at the sternum. Thumbs at the sternum. And breathe. And then prepare for our 20 stand-up sit-downs. So again, These are up to you in terms of the pace that you do them, the quantity that you do them. So you don't have to keep pace with me. Do what's right for you. So here we go. Here's a 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Bottom arm to the top for 11 and 12, 13 and 14 and 15, 16, 17 and 18 and 19, last one, and 20. Have a seat. Hands to the thighs, take a breath in, shrug it up, and sigh it out. And then we will stand up to do our standing posture. So find mountain pose behind your chair. So the hip points, if you drew a straight line right down to your ankles, is typically a nice distance for your feet to be. You might rock back and forth, ooh, or side to side. I was a little too rocky, and around in circles. Eventually coming to stillness in this mountain pose, always worth appreciating. Now and again, as we stack our joints, feel that sense of lightness that comes with that stacking when everything's aligned as it should be. Bring the weight into the right leg and step back on the toes of the left foot. And we'll circle over the toes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And reverse 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Bring that foot down and step the other one back for 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Other way, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring your big toes together and your heels apart, knees together. Begin circling them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. And reverse 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Walk your hands up your legs and separate your legs. Soften your knees and circle your hips for 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And reverse 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keep your knees soft and shake out your arms, preparing for our standing waterfall. So just let everything stay nice and relaxed as you rotate the torso. Lift opposite heel if you like, just deepening that rotation if that feels good. Keep breathing, nice big full breath. Eventually coming to stillness, letting the arms settle. And stepping your feet a little further apart, turning your toes a little further out. Bring your arms overhead and press your palms together. We'll sink into 5 goddesses this morning, holding on the 5th. So here is 1, and 2, 3, and 4. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up and step your feet together. Bring your arms down by your sides and take your left foot, cross it over your right. Arms go above your head, right hand grabs the left wrist. And we'll take that nice little lean over to the right. Another beautiful opportunity to open up through those left ribs. Breathe into those left intercostal muscles, the little muscles between each rib. And giving them an opportunity to open up so our breath can be even fuller. And then uncross your feet and bring your hands to your shoulders. So we're going to take a rotation to the right. Stay nice and tall here. On an exhale, rotate upper body, ribs and shoulders to the right. Elbows stay directly opposite each other. And we hold for a couple of breaths to build these muscles, this little corset, these muscles around our ribs. And then come back to center. Relax your arms down. Take your right foot this time, cross it over your left, and bring your arms overhead. Left hand this time takes hold of the right wrist, and we take that lean to the left. Breathing into the right side, opening up. And then uncross your feet. Bring your hands back to your shoulders. Take a breath in. And then we will take that rotation to the left. Elbows stay opposite each other. Hips stay facing forward. And we breathe and hold and build strength. And then come back to center and relax. Separate your feet. We're going to do a little forward fold. You know what I think we should do? I think we should do the breath of joy. Being in this position makes me think of the breath of joy, and it is the season of joy, right? So if you remember, I will tell you about it, and then we can do it together. But it's 3 sips in and then a big out. So it goes and okay. So we're going to do 5 of them if it's okay. If you get dizzy, don't do as many, or don't be quite as forceful in your hugs. So here we go. Ha! 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 Last one. Ha! Hang down here. And then bring yourself all the way up. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Breath of joy is often a nice way to build some energy, get some circulation going all through the body, just what we need at this time of year. And it also brings joy, lightness, and energy to the body, which we also need this time of year. So we're only going to do one specific balance today. We're going to go tree. So bring your weight into your right side, come onto the toes of your left foot, and find that external rotation that works for you. Toes on the ground if you like, or foot up your shin, hands at your heart, or overhead. And I am watching the clock, so you can simply breathe. A nice time to think about that core again, engaging it. Then turn that knee forward and step gracefully out of your tree. You can shake if you like. And then bring the weight to the other side. So you're on your left leg, everything's nice and straight and tall. Turn that right knee out, toes down or foot up the leg, hands at the heart or overhead. And we will be a tree for 40 seconds. Strong and straight and beautiful. And turn that knee forward and come out of your tree. And face the chair. We're going to come into a warrior three. So find warrior one first with your left foot forward. You can use the chair for this warrior three, which is why we're doing it behind the chair. So warrior one, arms can be on your hips, they can be up overhead, wherever you'd like them to be. They can be in cactus. Bring your weight into the front leg. Keep the bend in that front leg. Come onto the toes, up the back foot. And then as you feel ready, lift that back leg. You can have your hands at your heart. You can rest your forearms on the back of the chair. You can reach your arms forward, wherever you're comfortable. And then bend into that front leg, step it back to warrior one. And bring the back foot to meet the front. And take the left foot back, find warrior one on this side. So the arms can be where you'd like them to be, overhead, at your heart, on your hips. Bring your weight into your front leg, come onto the toes of the back foot. And then float that back foot up. Bring your hands wherever you'd like them to be. Pinky of that lifted leg is turned down, pressing out through the heel, energizing through that leg. And then step the back foot down, come back into warrior one. And step your feet together. You can move your chair off the mat. We're going to do a series of warriors the long way on our mat. And we'll begin in star pose. So once you are in star pose, turn your left toes out, bend into that front leg and bring your arms parallel to the floor. So you want your heart to be centered between your hips so you're not leaning forward or back. You're nice and vertical here. Look over the front fingertips, your left fingertips. Take your back hand down your back leg as you float the front arm up. So you've reversed your warrior. Relax the shoulder away from your ear. Sometimes our front shoulder will kind of creep up towards our ear. So see if you can relax it down. On an exhale, come back to warrior two. And straighten the front leg. Reach with that front arm. Keep this whole side, left side of your body as straight as you can, and then just tip it as you lift the right arm towards the ceiling. So you are in triangle. Bend into that front leg, and you are now in extended warrior. Straighten the front leg. Come back to star. Turn the right toes out. And sink into warrior two on this side. Gaze is over the front middle finger. Take the back hand down the back leg. Turn the palm of the front up towards the ceiling and then reach. Reversing your warrior. Come back into warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Reach that front arm. Kick this back hip back. And then take a little lean or tilt down towards the floor. The gaze can be at the floor, up at the ceiling, straight ahead. Try to keep the crown of your head in line with your tailbone. And then bend into that front leg. And take that top arm up and reach it forward. So you are an extended warrior here. Straighten that front leg. Bring your arms back out. Turn the toes forward. You are back in star. we'll take a forward fold, keeping our hands on our hip creases. So the toes are facing forward or slightly in. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, fold from the hip creases. Stay nice and straight and long through the torso. Torso moves past parallel and then folds down. Hands can come to your ankles or to the floor between your feet. Press your sitting bones back to create a little more of a rotation in the pelvis. On an inhale, straighten your arms wherever they are. Find a nice flat back, and on your exhale, fold back down. Keep pressing those sitting bones back. And then walk your hands back to your hip creases. Keeping a nice, long, straight back, come back to parallel to the ground. And then slowly bring your torso back to vertical. Let the blood come back down into your body from your head. And then step your feet together. So we will move to our floor movements from mountain pose at the top of the mat. So find mountain pose. And on an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Press your palms together as you exhale, fold. Inhale, find length, hands to shins or thighs, heart reaches forward. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step one foot back and lower the knee, then bring the other one back. You are in tabletop. So your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide if you like, or fisted if you prefer. Just do a couple of rounds of cat and cow, that beautiful undulation of the spine. So we are not only encouraging the flow of spinal fluid, but we are stretching, opening, releasing fascia. It is that substance that wraps our bones, muscles, tendons, and ligaments. So just feel them becoming a little more mobile, fluid, flexible. And then come to a neutral tabletop. Take your weight into your left hand and sweep your right arm up. So you are opening up to the right. And then thread your arm through your left. Bring the side of your head to the ground. And you are in a bit of a twist, a nice shoulder opener as well. You can keep that left hand right in front of your face, or you can extend it to the top of your mat. Nice rotation here, nice stretch through the shoulders and rotation through the spine. If your hand is extended, bring it back in front of your face. Bring yourself all the way back up to table, and we'll do the other side. So the weight will come to the right hand as you sweep the left arm up to the sky. Open up the heart to the left. And then take that arm through, underneath the right arm. Bring the side of the head or the forehead, whatever you're comfortable with your neck. Reaching that left arm towards the right side of the room. Taking the right hand maybe to the top of the mat or keeping it where it is. Take a couple of breaths here in this rotation on the other side, opening up the back and the shoulders. And then take that right hand, if it's extended, back in front of your face. Press yourself back up to table. Bring your feet wide, or not your feet, your knees, and your toes together. So your knees don't have to be super wide. Maybe you're comfortable with the knees closer. So whatever makes you happy today. Sink your hips, forearms to the mat. Maybe you stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Or you use a block under your forehead. And if your hands are fisted, just bring the hands back to the mat. Take your left hand to the top left corner of your mat and your right hand on top of it as you press your right sitting bone back towards your heel. So you're getting this nice big stretch again through the right side of the body. Then lifting slightly, walking your hands through center to the other side. Right hand to the top right corner, left hand on top. Left sitting bone presses back towards your left heel as you bring your forehead towards the mat. Maybe you look underneath your left shoulder. So here again, a nice stretch. From your fingertips down your arms, armpit down your whole left side to your hip. And then walk your hands back to center. Bring yourself back to tabletop. And then find Dandasana or staff pose. So swing your legs around. And we'll lower slowly to the ground. So hands in place as if you're holding a tray. Core is engaged. Feet are engaged. Feet are flexed. Lowering from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down. Nice big stretch. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Both arms reach, both feet reach. Little arch in the low back. And then reach the opposite foot, opposite arm away from each other. Kind of like a little wiggle waggle here as you stretch. And then both arms, both legs. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring your knees into your chest for a beautiful squeeze. You might rock a little bit if you like. It feels good. Circle your knees and get into that low back. A nice massage. And then coming to stillness, bring both feet down to the mat. Keep the right foot down and extend the left leg up. Hold behind the thigh or the calf, whatever you can reach comfortably, and point and flex your foot. Just notice that sensations in the back of your leg, maybe your hamstring or your calf, a little bit of both. So there is a piece of fascia that runs from the back of our head all the way down to the back of our heels. It's that long and connected. So we're giving the back of our leg piece of that fascia a little stretch here. And then bring that foot down to the ground, extend the left leg up, point and flex. So press the heel up, draw the toes down, and then reverse that action. Keep the head of the femur, right connected into the hip. Just really feeling that stretch all down the back of your leg, into the heel, even across perhaps the bottom of your foot. And then bring that foot down to the ground. Take your left ankle and put it on your right thigh. Flex that left ankle, press that left thigh away from you. And notice if your hip points have kind of shifted here. We want them to be parallel to each other, parallel or in line with each other, parallel to the bottom of your mat. Sometimes when we do this, one hip kind of kicks up. So we want things to be pretty level here. You can stay here with that right foot on the ground or lift the right foot. You can hold behind the right thigh to hang out there or bring the leg towards the ceiling again. Whatever feels good for you today. You can rock if that feels good. Draw circles on the ceiling with your heel. And then bring that right foot back down to the ground. Keep that figure 4 shape and bring your arms out like cactus or wing. And roll onto your right hip as you let the left foot come down to the ground. Or to a block or a pillow. On an inhale, bring yourself back up in your four shape. Take that left foot down onto the ground and take your right ankle to your left thigh. Press away that thigh with your right hand. Notice what your hip points have done. See if you can get them level again. And then decide whether or not you'd like to lift that left foot off the ground or not. Hold behind the thigh if you like. Let the shin hang. Each one of these variations creates a different experience in the body, so find the one that feels best for you today. Try to stay relaxed in the shoulders and the neck and the jaw. You might even open your mouth and wiggle your jaw and your tongue. And then bring that left foot back down if it's lifted. Keep the figure four shape, roll onto your left hip. Bring the right foot to the ground. Maybe the arms come out like wings or cactus. And on an inhale, come back to that figure four on your back. Take that right foot back down to the ground. And we'll do a couple of bridges. So they can be with the arms floating up and back if you like, or they can be with the arms staying down by your sides. To begin with, however, take your pubic bone, turn it up towards your navel, flatten your back, root down through the feet and legs, especially the inner part of those legs, and then begin to lift from the tailbone up to the base of the neck, and to lower from the top to the bottom. So you're laying the spine down from the top down to the tail. You might, when you land, even press those hip points away from you, a little pelvic rock. Then rock them back, flatten the back, and begin to peel the spine off the mat. So again, you can float your arms up and back if that feels good or not. Do one or more of these in a flowing pattern before we hold. So we'll lift one more time, peeling from the bottom to the top, and then lowering from the top to the bottom. And this last one we'll hold. And if you'd like to do a supported bridge, you might reach for a block, if you have one available, pressing your hip points up, maybe rocking your shoulders, tucking your shoulders under, interlacing your fingers underneath, pressing into the mat with your upper arms and shoulders to just create a bit of a bigger lift of the hip points, a lift of the heart, a nice thoracic arch. Keep pressing the backs of the knees towards forward, the tailbone towards the back of the knees, really lengthening through the back and energizing through the legs. Imagine you're squeezing a block. And then if your hands are interlaced underneath your torso, unlace them. Lower yourself down from the top to the tail. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees splay open. Maybe rock a little bit here. And then, with the bottoms of the feet still pressing together, lift them off the mat. Reach between your legs for your ankles or your big toes or your foot and come into happy baby. So the soles of the feet are pressing towards the ceiling. The thighs are moving towards parallel with the floor. They may not get there. So you're pulling down on your feet, elongating the spine so the tailbone's reaching towards the bottom of the mat rather than curling up towards the ceiling. You can rock here if you like, Or extend one leg and the other, or both. Eventually releasing any bind that you have on your legs. Bring your legs together. Lift your tailbone and stack your hands under the tailbone and extend your legs up towards the ceiling and legs up the wall. Viparita Karani. A beautiful, beautiful posture to end the practice before Shavasana. Or maybe it is Shavasana for you today. We'll decide that in a moment, but for now we're all just floating our legs up to the ceiling, relaxing our jaw and our facial muscles, and letting the blood flow freely. And our lymph now flowing maybe a little more freely through that fascia, feeding itself into our lymph nodes where the toxins can get filtered out and moved away. And then as you are ready to end your practice and find a posture for stillness, whether it be this, you can stay right here, or corpse pose with the legs extended and the arms relaxed by your sides. It's a nice day for a blanket over you if you have one. But wherever you are, just find a place where you can be still. And once you get into that posture, take a big breath in through your nose. Sigh it all out through your mouth. Ooh. Allow everything to soften and relax into the mat. So there are to-do lists, all of our to-do lists right now. This time of year can be so very, very, very long, seemingly overwhelming. When we take one small step at a time, things become more manageable. And when we pay attention to the things that matter and work to identify those things that can be put aside. When we take away the burden of having to be perfect, find the perfect gift, to be the perfect host, or the perfect guest. We can find more joy in the season. So as you rest, just perhaps review that to-do list with the eye of someone who doesn't need to be perfect. See if you can identify things that can be put aside so that you can focus on the things that truly matter. Each other. So I'll share with you the words of wisdom that I sent to my granddaughters today. I do every Friday morning. And this one read, allow yourself to be imperfect, for it's in our flaws that we find our true beauty. our imperfections that make us human. So you might allow yourself to find your breath once again, connecting to it, noticing it, allowing it to become fuller with each breath in. Allow it to be more of a letting go with each breath out, letting go of some need to be perfect. Creating movement in the body, maybe wiggling fingers or toes, or circling ankles or wrists. Letting the head drift from side to side. And if it would feel good to take a nice full body stretch, go ahead and reach your arms overhead. Extend your legs long. Take the biggest, fullest breath of the day all the way to the top, plus some. And as you exhale, bring your knees in and hug yourself. Give yourself a big squeeze, a squeeze of thanks and gratitude for doing this practice for yourself today, for finding the time to do it. Choosing to roll to one side or stay on your back. Just checking in. Seeing how things might have shifted or changed or opened, released. Find one small thing that you can take off your mat out into your day. Some part of the class that resonates with you. Find one small thing that you can leave behind. A thought, a judgment, a criticism, a fear, or worry. Just let it stay on your mat, at least for today. Go out a little lighter and freer. And as you feel ready to end your practice, find your way to a comfortable seat. And once you are there, bring your hands to your heart. We bring our hands to our hearts, reminding us to fill our hearts with kindness and compassion, and to our lips, reminding us to speak words of kindness and compassion, and to our third eye, reminding us to expand our thoughts of kindness and compassion towards ourselves as well as others. And in honor of the light that shines in each one of us, the light that unites us all, we bow and say namaste.